And Usquiano puts it away. Bullseye for the Colombian, who is moving on to the gold medal final. Well, so much for experience over youth, huh?
Well, I told you, I think a big part of it was she got really nervous. I mean, facing a teammate sometimes is more nerve-wracking than even anything. So you add the first match, and you add this onto it, it's just a big deal. It is a big deal, and it just, I can't tell you how much, like, I feel like a lot of the guys here in the country, from their home country, it's a hard, you know, the emotions are more dramatic for you because you have friends here and everything else.
So Alejandra Usquiano from Colombia, carrying her nation's banner into the gold medal match this afternoon as she defeats Albina Loganova 144 to 140, which has to be considered an upset.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Definitely. Like I say, because you look at Albina, she's, anytime she steps on the field, she's one of the favorites. You know, I mean, her credentials speak a lot for themselves.
She made it to the semifinal match, but now we'll have to settle for the bronze medal match coming up a little bit later on, while Alejandra Usquiano of Colombia will advance to the gold medal final. And the question is, whom shall she be facing? Right now, she's not worried about that. She'll celebrate for about 5 minutes and then
get back on the practice field. Yeah.
And start getting ready for that next matchup as we get set for it here in Paris on a perfect Saturday afternoon in September. Outstanding weather conditions, temperature about 70 degrees, and very light winds if at all. So now we get set for the next semifinal match for the women. And this will feature Sok Ji-hyun of Korea, 23 years old, also at her first World Cup final. She won a gold in China, defeating Erica Jones. Silver in Antalya, losing to Sarah Lopez. Did not compete in Medellin. Then was 9th in Wrocław. And then in the quarterfinals this morning here in Paris, she defeated Christina Berger for the second time this year. This time getting it done in a shoot-off. And so she is in the semifinals here this afternoon in Paris. And Sok Ji-hyun will face the woman that she defeated in Antalya, or excuse me, in China, Erica Jones of the United States. So a chance now for Erica to get a little bit of payback in this match. She got the silver in China, losing to Sok Ji-hyun, was 9th in Antalya, silver medal in Medellin, silver medal in Wrocław, and then this morning defeated Sophie Donemont quite comfortably, 146 to 135. Do archers think about that at all, Rio? Remember the last time that you faced somebody? You do?
A lot, yeah. Because you know, it gives you an idea how they shot and what they're feeling and stuff like that. You learn a lot about your competitor when you compete against them. And a lot of times, you know, you're like, man, I want to get revenge. I want to win that match. And sometimes you're like, ooh, that guy just got the best of me. I want to get that. Or if you beat them really bad, you're like, hey, I know I can beat this person. I've done it before.
You got the confidence.
Yep. So it's a double-edged sword because you don't know which way the person's going to think, which is going to be more helpful than the other.
Well, I know Erica's got confidence, but I also know that Sok Ji-hyun had to take some confidence away from her win over Erica Jones in China.
Yeah, and where she's new to the scene, you know, you don't know what kind of results she'll have. Where Erica's been around a while, has shot against a lot of these people. You know, I think that's your wild card there. You don't know how she will do in a big situation like this.
Erica starts off with the 10.
9.
And the Korean counters with a 9. So a good start for Erica Jones here in the semifinals. Erica trying to break through and win a gold medal, and a great start. Back-to-back bullseyes.
Yeah, we shot together on the practice range. She's shooting really good today, and so it would be kind of a surprise to see her lose. But out here, it's a whole different ballgame.
Sure. And it is a big stage.
Yeah, a lot more out here on the line than back there behind the scenes.
9 or 10, too close to call.
It's one thing when you're shooting in the backyard. It's a whole nother matter when you're out here on the Fountains Trocadero Gardens.
Yeah.
The Eiffel Tower in the background. Pretty hard to simulate that in Pocatello, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't get that.
So we could have a tie, or it could be a 1-point lead for Erica Jones. We're going to have to wait and see. And as Mel Nichols was telling us this morning, there are no agents at this World Cup final, so there's nobody down there pleading on your behalf, making your case.
It's straight called, and you get what you get. So it's a little different avenue than we do with all the other World Cups and World Championships, because you actually send an agent from your country. So you might get a little more warm, fuzzy feeling, but who knows?
So we're still waiting to get the official ruling on that third shot by Erica Jones and see if they're going to take the asterisk away. And they did take the asterisk off. It was a 10, so that's 3 perfect shots, 3 10s to start off this match, and she leads by 1.
Yeah, that's a good feeling to know that you started off clean, but it's kind of you can look at it 2 ways. You can say, oh, I only got 1 point out of that, or you can say, I got 1 point and I'm shooting good. I just want to extend it more and more.
I got to think sometimes it's almost like that scene out of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, where they kept saying, who are these guys?
Yeah.
They're right behind me and we can't shake them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's times in a match where you're just like, man, I just keep shooting good and I can't get rid of this person.
What do I have to do?
Yeah. Can't put enough gas on the gas pedal.
It puts a premium on every shot, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And you start to feel it a little bit in ways.
It all matters, and there's a good start for Sok-ji Hyun of Korea, 23 years old, who defeated Erica Jones in Shanghai. Erica trying to get payback, and her 4th straight 10. She's all business. And that 9 may actually be a 10. We'll have to wait and see. That's definitely a 10.
Yeah.
Left no doubt about it.
I would say the first one, by looking at it, looks solid.
Just outside.
So we can have a time match now. Like I said, you feel like, man, I shot really good, and now we're all tied up still, and it can be kind of an up and down feelings.
So now Erica Jones knows she's got her work cut out for her against Sok-ji Hyun. Not that she didn't know going into the match.
Yeah.
Ooh, and you could tell, the expression on her face right away.
Yeah.
So after a clean start, 2 tough shots.
Yeah, it's kind of nice for her to have Casey back there. She can walk back and you know, I mean, coaches are nice, but it's nice to have somebody you're familiar with. You can always walk back and talk to them, and someone that knows you, that knows how you shoot and how you feel. It's a different feeling, you know.
It's nice to have the family, have the friends.
Yeah.
And apparently they have ruled that. A 10 and 2 9s, so that's 58 points for Erica Jones and 59 for Sok-ji Hyun, who goes from 1 down to 1 up in that second end. And that's how quickly it can change. Good look. Yeah, you can see the expression right there. She knew the second she let it go. You could see her arm
kind of dip down to the right, and that arrow was out high left. You can we almost tattle on ourselves in a way.
You do give it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even more so in slow motion, because you really can read it.
Well, she knew the job was dangerous when she took it.
Yeah.
And it's become even more dangerous right now. Erica leading by 1 after the first end, now trailing by 1 after 6 arrows. 9 more to shoot, and a good start in the third end. Bullseye for Erica Jones.
Puts a little more pressure back on your competitor. Now we're tied again. I mean, that is one thing I've learned to watch on this, is if you're close, man, it bats back and forth. When somebody puts a 10 in and puts the pressure on, it seems to open that door back up a lot quicker.
9. Little high, just outside. Opportunity for Sok-ji Hyun.
So you can't get that one.
In fact, it's an 8.
Too close to call.
I think
Maybe
she
a 9.
might catch a 9. By the looks on this, looks like it could be a 9.
Almost bit that line.
Yeah, a lot of red there.
9 or 10,
Solid.
two
It's a
balls in
10.
all. Looks like a 10 from here.
That looks like a 10.
As far as I can see, yeah. Puts the pressure back on, especially after almost shooting an 8.
And another 9.
Yeah.
So things getting interesting here through the first 9 arrows.
So Erica could be back up by 1 if that, you know,
We'll
turns
have to
out
wait
that
and
way.
see.
Yeah, we'll see what them arrows get called or changed to.
We will have to wait and see. Sokji Hyun with a 9. Hoping that she has 3 9s instead of that 8. But not real pleased with her performance in that third end. Erica with 87 points right now. Has only left 3 points out there and still cannot shake Sokji Hyun of Korea.
Stays as an 8.
It is an 8.
Well, bad call on my part. I guess it just looked a little better from this angle.
Erica Jones officially leading.
So that gives Erica a pretty good little spread there.
So we're through the first 3 ends, and Erica Jones back up on top of the United States, trying to get to the gold medal match. She won the gold medal 2 years ago in Istanbul. Last year was a little bit frustrating for Erica. Had no individual medals in 2012. She's had individual medals this year, but they've been silver. And she told me yesterday it's been a little bit frustrating in that respect. It's nice to medal, but she wants the gold.
Well, and she shot good this year. She's won a bunch of major tournaments in the U.S. and stuff like that. So I'm sure it's even more frustrating because she actually has, I think she's won everything in the U.S. this year. And so it's got to be really frustrating to go from winning all that to coming out on this stage and not feeling the same success.
9.
She's not putting the pressure on her, and Erica did give her a little bit of an open door on that first one.
10.
Back in the 10 ring as she gets that one on the line.
Yep, stretches it to a 3-point lead. A lot of times I think about this end as being kind of the big make or break end.
10.
Because you can walk out, if you walk out with over more than 1 point lead, it can be really easy because a person can look at it and say, I shoot a 28, they have to shoot a 30 to even tie.
Sure.
10.
Great finish for Erica. 29 points in that end, so she does pick up 1 more point. And she now leads by 3 with 3 arrows left to go. Talking it over with her husband, Casey, who's in the coaching box back there. You were talking about that. You had Tom Nallman with you, a friend from Idaho, and kind of nice to have somebody back there you know and trust.
Yeah, it's a friend. We travel a lot. In fact, actually, it's funny is every year I've won Vegas, the big indoor archery tournament, he's been my roommate. So it was kind of a joke and it was kind of a deal. He always wanted to come to one of these, so I just thought he'd be a good person to come put in the box. And so
somebody to take your mind off things in between.
Yeah.
Because I was talking with Mel Nichols about this morning during the quarterfinals. To me, in some ways, this period of time in between ends when the arrows are being retrieved, kind of a dangerous time. You may think a little too much during this time.
Yeah, a mind can be a horrible thing with Archer. We can think all kinds of things and go all kinds of places. So.
A mind is a horrible place to be, huh?
Yep, we wander all over the place. And I'm really excited for my chance at the World Championship, so I get to the finals. My little brother's going to be there. And so he was there the last time, and so it's kind of one of the things that I've kind of planned out, and I hope that I get the chance to do that.
116, 113, your official score right now with 3 more arrows left to shoot. Sokju Yoon attempting to make a comeback.
Well, she put the pressure on.
Yeah, trying to extract the payback. There's the pressure.
Yep.
That won't help.
No. When you walk into these ends, too, you know, I mean, you see the look on her face. I'm going to have to shoot a 30 and hope for something.
9.
Low, and she threw her arm. You could watch her throw her arm up. You know usually that you're aiming really good and your setup's pretty decent aiming-wise when that happens.
10.
Because you know at the exact second when it breaks where it's at.
Seok-ji Yoon finishes up with a 10. 142 is her final score. 8 or better will beat her and win the match and send Erica Jones into the gold medal finals. And she gets a 9. That's enough. 9 is enough to get it done and get a big hug from her husband, Casey. I think they're still on their honeymoon.
Yeah.
Definitely after a victory like that. Here at the foot of the Eiffel Tower. So Erica Jones advancing, surviving and advancing with a 144 to 142 victory. She started off with a 1-point lead in the match. Fell behind by 1 after the second end, then came back in the third end to regain the lead by 2. Bumped the lead up to 3 in the fourth end and finishes it off with a 2-point victory. There's your final score, 144-142 in favor of America's Erica Jones, who will go on to the gold medal match, and she will face Alejandra Usquiano. That will be a good one.
Yeah, we'll set up for both really good matches between Erica and them, and you got Albina and them and the other ones. They all should be really good matches. When you're talking the final 4, can go any way.
Right. And really, the only match that has been a little bit one-sided was the one between Erica Jones and Sophie Dodemont this morning. And so all the other matches have been very, very close.
And that's one of the ones where she didn't actually earn the points to get in. She was a
wild card.
Yeah, a wild card. And so you don't know what kind of year she's really had as shooting-wise. Plus, you put them in the home stage. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. There is more pressure to perform on your own home stage. Because, I mean, even like talking to PJ yesterday, his family's here. He's got like 40 friends here.
Sure.
You know, it adds a lot. I know. I mean, when I shot in Ogden, that was one that I wanted to win so bad because my mom and dad was there, my wife was there, my little girls were there. It was one I wanted to do well.
People who normally will never get to see you shoot in person.
Yeah. And so, you know, friends and stuff like that. So it made a big difference.
Oh, it does. There's no question about that. And speaking of Frenchmen, here's a man who's got some pressure on him right now, Dominique Genet, the Frenchman who advanced this morning by defeating my partner in crime here today, Rio Wild. And you've got to give credit to Dominique. He shot very, very well this morning.
He was solid. You know, that's all you can ask in this situation is just go up and shoot solid and let it take care of itself.
He's ranked 7th in the world, and he's going after his first individual medal of 2013. He knows he's going to get that. It's just a question of the color of that medal. With Dominique Genet facing Martin Damsbo of Denmark. Damsbo ranked 4th in the world, picked up a silver medal in Shanghai. A bronze medal in Antalya, was 4th in Medellin, 17th in Poland, and then this morning defeated his teammate, Patrick Larson, 143 to 141 in the quarterfinals. And again, that's an example of a guy having to go up against his teammate. Tough situation for those two to have to compete, especially in the first round.
Yeah, not exactly ideal. I mean, just like we talked about the Colombian girls. I mean, like I said, I've talked to Sarah, and the emotions are different there. And I mean, I went to dinner last night with Martin and Torben, the guy in the coaching box, and you know, you talk about it. You don't, you know, you feel them emotions of like you want to win. It's hard, but it's against your teammate, and it makes a different aspect on it.
No, it's a lot easier going up against somebody you may not care for as much.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. In any sport, I don't care what sport it is.
Yeah, and it's.
Now there's a 10 to get it started for Martin Damsbo.
And Martin's really shot pretty solid all year.
Well, he's been consistent, hasn't he?
Yes. I mean, he had a little hiccup in Poland, but overall, I think that's an 8.
That's an 8. That looks outside.
Yeah. And that opens the door for Martin. Martin will probably capitalize a lot on that. Gives him a little breathing room to start off. And
he does.
Yeah. He was shooting really, really good over on the practice range. In fact, he had a group so tight Braden told him not to finish because he might hurt his arrows.
Dominique Genet with a 9. Rough start.
Yeah, and as you get further, the more pressure it is to get even more. I mean, it's a hard aspect.
It looked like when he released that, he was not happy with it either. He was trying to pull it back in.
Yeah, he was a little bit out left and pushed it to the right.
How did he do that?
Sometimes you know when it's going to go, and that's why I say you see us throw our bows a lot,
right?
Because we know at that point of break where it was, and you try and get it there, you know.
He got it there.
He did. He got it there. And some days are like that. You can throw it all kinds of directions, and it just goes in.
So 10-10-10 for Martin Damsbo to start off this first end of the semifinal match here in Paris. Trocadero Gardens. Carl Archie along with Rio Wild. Hope you're enjoying the live coverage from Paris on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon. You could not ask for better weather conditions. Great crowd on hand, great setting, and some great archery going on right now. And as you look at Dominique Genet, you wonder what's going through his mind at this moment. Now he feels, I've got to think, he feels I've got to be perfect from here on out.
Yeah, that thought comes in your mind. I know this morning after I started off really bad, I was like, I need to clean out. I need to shoot just about perfect to give it a run to catch him.
And it's hard to run the table.
Oh, it is. It's especially when you start off that way, because you know your confidence isn't there that it's smoking, you know, your bow shooting just perfect. So it's a lot of work, and sometimes it ends up backfiring on you, and sometimes it ends up making you better. It's a tough one.
No doubt about it. It's a mental game.
Yeah.
And right now, Martin Damsbo is in a great state of mind, leading by 3 after the first end, and the crowd trying to encourage Dominique Genet.
Starts out putting the pressure back on, and
Dominique trying to get on that merry-go-round ride and ride it all the way to the gold medal finals.
10, 9, 8, 7,
Torben Johansen counting it down in the coach's box.
3, 2,
Bullseye.
not giving any room at all. I mean, Dominic puts a little pressure on, and he follows up strong.
Boy, we've seen that all summer long from Martin Damsbo. One of the classiest guys in this sport.
Super guy. Puts the pressure on again, and
raising the level of his game.
15, 10, 9,
So does Martin Damsbo.
3.
well, now it makes you think a little bit more that Dominic might have been a little antsy walking out there in the first end. You know, a little excited with, you know, the home crowd and stuff like that.
A great end for Dominique Genet. 10s across the board. And we'll see if Damsbo can match that.
See if he can get a little niche and catch one back here.
10, 9, 8,
5 in a row so far. Ooh, just outside. So the streak of bullseyes ends with 5. It's a 9, but it's a 2-point lead, 59-57.
Yeah. And that is one hard part about being a 3-arrow end. You look at it and you're like, I have a 2-point lead, but you're like, man, I gave one back there. You know, it's like, come on, let's get this together. Even though it's 29, it's not a killer. It's just you know that you gave one back.
Now the winner of this match will face the winner of the matchup between Sergio Pagni and Braden Gelantine. If it does happen to be Martin Damsbo and Braden Gelantine in that gold medal match, that would be interesting because the last time they went head-to-head was in Antalya.
Yeah.
And that's when Martin lent Braden his backup bow to compete against him in a bronze medal match.
Yeah, it was. And so maybe a chance for them to actually get a real match with each other, with their own equipment.
They've split between them this season, Braden Gelantine and Martin Damsbo. But there's a long way to go, and that's putting the cart before the horse right now. More than a few arrows left to shoot in this match.
Yeah. You can see the kind of frustration that you're like, oh man, I really want to keep the pressure on, because like you said, you want to feel like you want to clean it out.
10, 10, klokken 12.
So Damsbo back in the center ring. And the lead's back up to 3.
Fifth, 9.
Same spot, too.
15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Fifth or
Just on the
10.
line.
I think it's going to catch, but my calls are 50-50 today, so we'll see how that one goes.
So
So it's either a 3-point lead or a 4-point lead, depending upon how they'll rule that 9. But Genet finishes strong.
Yeah.
T, knee,
No doubt about it. Leaves no doubt about it. Great shot by Martin Damsbo with a 10 right there. So we shall see what we shall see after the judges have their chance to inspect that shot.
And those are always tough to call when they're in an old arrow hole. And nothing more frustrating than to stand here and watch and go, which way's it going to go, which way's it going to go, until you find out. And
Right.
And at least with your own agent, a lot of times our guys have kind of learned they reach back and give you a thumbs up or a, you know, or something to let you have an idea to change the nerves and calm them down a lot quicker.
Exactly. End the suspense and get it over with.
Yep, yep. Try to keep that heart rate from going too high as much as you can.
That's right. We had those monitors on you guys last year in Tokyo. That was interesting to see the heart rates.
It was interesting. It was funny because they'd put them on 3 different times to get different readings as to what they were each time they put them on different with me. So I wasn't so sure how accurate they were or not, but it was interesting to see.
I'm sure your doctor thought it was interesting.
Yeah. Actually, my doctor is an archer.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
So he understands.
Yeah, he understands a lot of that. He did some Olympic type shooting, you know, in the Olympic class, and he takes pretty good care of me.
So a 4-point lead after 3 ends, 89-85.
And this is kind of like I call the movie end, you know, because you're going to walk into that last end either with a good, comfortable lead or it's going to be tight.
So this is a, if there's any time for Dominique Genet to get back into the match, this might be it right here.
This is it, because, you know, you walk into that last match with 3 points, well, I can shoot 3 9s, and you've got to shoot a 30 to even tie him. And so it's a big mindset.
Trying to give himself a chance, but the 9 doesn't help. Dominique Genet.
15, 10,
Damsbo
right here, klokken 2.
drills another one.
He's shooting solid. I mean, he got that one change into a 10, and like I said, it's
Right down the middle.
yeah. I mean, Martin puts this in, he's only 1 point off perfect.
15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
And just as he let it go, you could tell it, I could tell it.
Yeah.
The
And-
folks at home could see.
Yeah, and he's going to walk into this with 4 points. You know, you got a 27 get you into the gold medal match, and nothing the other guy can even do about it. So, and the worst part is, in Dominique's shoes, you look at it and you say, I got to pray for a miracle, but odds aren't happening.
No, when you look at the people that Martin Damsbo has defeated this season,
Yeah.
he's beaten Sergio. He's beaten Peter Elzinga. He's beaten some very good people. Patrick Larson this season.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of experience. And he's a guy who's really worked hard and has earned it. He went 3 years without going into a World Cup gold medal match, but stayed with it.
Yeah.
So you know he's mentally strong.
Oh, and we talked the other day, and he's been practicing a lot. I mean, working really hard on his shooting, and it shows. I mean, just like he's talked about, him not making any finals for a while. You know, Torben says, man, if you know how hard he's practicing, how hard he's working, you would. And I said, I always appreciate that because I know how hard I work to get to where I am. And
Sure.
so, you know, hard work should always be rewarded.
Final 3 shots in the match coming up. A 4-point deficit for Dominique Genet, who starts off with a 10.
15.
Damsbo answers. Look at those arrows. All those holes in the target, right about the same same neighborhood.
Yeah, and he's only got 2 out. I mean, he's shooting a good round. In my book, a 148 or better is a good, solid round. You know, I mean, that's only 2 little glitches. I mean, we did see in Poland where guys got beat with 150s, but for the most part, 148 will win you a lot of matches.
It's interesting you mentioned that. Dominique Genet shot a 150 in Poland against Sergio Pagni and still lost. And he shot a 10 in the shoot-off as well, and he still lost.
An X.
Yeah, he shot an X.
Just not as close to the center as the other one. Yeah, you can't. That's a frustrating thing, I'm sure.
That's a crazy game you play.
Oh, yeah. It can be
maddening, especially with shots like that, I'm sure. Not the way he wanted to end things.
Especially in the home crowd. You know, that's disheartening a little.
Took the air right out of the crowd, and Martin Damsbo with an 8.
I think it hung 9.
8, 9.
Doesn't matter.
It's all academic. It's all over.
Yeah.
Martin
and a lot of times you see that arrow be a little looser when you know you got that, because the thoughts on your mind like, don't let anything go wrong. Let's get it in the bail and score it and move on.
Just don't miss the target.
Yeah, I did that. My first World Cup Finals, they did in Mexico. I pulled up and I had a one-off score, and I thought, you know what? Don't blow up string, don't nothing. Let's just get this thing down in the target. Pulled up, shot a 9 for a 118, which we're shooting 70 meters like the recurves do now. But so 118, and probably should have been a 119 had I really focused like I needed to. But I had a 2-point lead. It got me into the finals, and the rest is what else all happened. I'm shooting it perfect in the final.
So Martin Damsbo moving on to the gold medal match. And it should be a great one. We'll wait to see whom he will be facing in that gold medal match. Will it be Sergio Pagni or Braden Gelantine? The answer to that question is coming in just a few moments. I'm Carl Archey with Rio Wild here in Paris at Trocadero Gardens, site of the 2013 Archery World Cup Final, and there's your final score, 147 to 143. You mentioned Mexico. That was back in 2006, and it was the first World Cup Final when they started all this. You've seen how this has all progressed, Rio, and how it's all come along. It really has come a long way, hasn't it?
Oh, a long way. I mean, my first finals of a World Cup, or the final matches in Croatia, we shot on just the edge of a soccer field. You know, they did bring stands in, and there was a little TV stuff and some smaller videos, and you can go back and watch it. The quality of video wasn't there. We don't have the slow motion we have now. The commentary wasn't as good. A lot of things have changed a lot.
We have a Skycam here now.
Oh yeah, I mean, that was one of the big things that we saw.
We have the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. The venues have got amazing. I mean, I tell people that we were going to shoot at the base of the Eiffel Tower, or that we've done this. People just are amazed, you know, and it's great for archery, because archery can set up in a small venue and accentuate different major things in the world, and that's awesome.
Tremendous setting for what should be a tremendous match. Sergio Pagni of Italy, ranked 5th in the world. Was only 12th in the World Cup rankings, but he did what he had to do to get here. And in the quarterfinals this morning, he defeated Pierre-Julien Deloche, 149-142, extracting revenge for a loss he suffered at the hands of Pierre-Julien Deloche in Poland at stage 4 of the Archery World Cup Tour. He'll take on Braden Gelantine of the United States, ranked 2nd in the world. Braden coming off a win this morning over Min Leong of Korea, 148 to 147, and that was a very, very tough and very close match.
Yeah, he told me he was really nervous on that last arrow, and he said he just really had to get it gone, and you know, he's shooting good. Braden's had a good year. I mean, winning some tournaments in the U.S., always been solid. You know, it's been a good year for him.
You look at Braden's year, it started off with 3 gold medals in Shanghai at stage 1. In Antalya, lost in the bronze medal match, but picked up a silver in Medellin, and then a team gold down in, or I should say over in Poland, in Wrocław.
But this should be a good match where Sergio hasn't, you know, these guys have both won these World Cup finals in the last little while, so neither one has that want in their head or anything like that.
Sergio hoping to win his 3rd World Cup title in the last 5 years, and he's off to a good start.
It's it looks like it just caught the line on the bottom at 6 o'clock, but you can see Braden shake his head. He knew where it was when it went off.
No question about that one.
Nine.
Which opens the door a little bit. It doesn't answer. I think we're going to end up with a tie at 29s by the looks of Braden's arrow.
So Pia Fanyi, Sergio's wife, in the coach's box. Helping out today is Sergio, who shot a tremendous match this morning, had a great win, defeating Pierre-Julien Deloche 149 to 146. You shoot a 149, you're going to be tough to beat.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
And there you're right, Griot.
Yeah.
It's a 29.
And Braden's going to get a good laugh out of it. He's a little upset at first, but now he's like, well, we're tied. It's a whole new match again. It's, you know, 4 ends now versus 5. And
Fanyi and Galantine are tied. Galantine will be shooting first on target number 1.
So 29 points for Sergio Fanyi and 29 points for Braden Galantine. And we're all tied up. There are no ugly 10s, are there?
no.
It doesn't matter.
That's
It's on the line, just biting the line.
I said to a friend of mine, I said, I will take 45 ugly 10s as the one pretty 9. There is nothing ugly about a 10.
What a great shot provided by our crew here in Paris.
It was a good, solid shot.
And the pressure shifts over to Fanyi.
A little more of an open door. Braden and I were talking about the differences from the practice field over here, and I would just guess that he gave it a few extra clicks, and he hit his first arrow high, and then took too many off and shot them 2 on that low side. And you can see he's getting it dialed back in the middle. 10.
1 point match at this point. Great grouping by Braden Galantine. And a strong finish by Sergio Fanyi. So still a 1 point match after the first 6 arrows. So nip and tuck, pretty much what we expected. I don't think this is any surprise at all.
No. Both of them are shooting good, and with the rounds at 50 meters, scores can be so tight. Like I say, we'll go back to Sergio's got his wife in the box. Braden has his dad. Gives you that break of in between going, hey, you know, maybe a joke or 2 or something going on.
Talk about the weather.
Yeah, something to kind of break the monotony or tell him like, hey, I had my sight a little low or something, you know.
Your golf game.
Yeah. Yeah, we were discussing that for next week when we're in Turkey about there's a golf course right next to the hotel, but long ways to haul a set of golf clubs.
Do you really want a coach to get that technical with you between ends?
You know, there are coaches that feel like they need to be. I have had a situation where at the World Championships, we had a coach in the team event come up to us and try and tell one of the guys he knew why he was shooting bad. We had just shot 2 points off perfect. And it really bothered Braden, and Braden actually asked him to leave the box. And to me, when you get to this level, you don't need that. You need more support. As
Moral support.
Yeah, you know, we know what's going on. You know when you make that bad shot, you know that feeling, and so.
And you generally know what happened and why it went that way.
Yeah.
Oh, great shot by Braden Galantine.
And I'm sure Braden's feeling it now, knowing that Sergio missed that one. It just made him a little more, I want to close the door a little tighter, give me a little more room.
Not easy to get a 2-point lead on Sergio's Pagni. As Sergio comes surging back. Point given back.
Yeah. Well, I don't think at any point this will be a blowout anywhere. These two are shooting way too well.
X, ottimo, così.
Like NASCAR when they're racing.
Yeah.
Wheel to wheel, bumper to bumper.
Who just gets the last little bit.
Exactly. Hey, great shot. Back in the 10 ring. So he maintains his lead, but now by 1. So Braden Galantine, who led by 1 after the second end. It was tied after the first end at 29 all. Braden went up by 1, 59 to 58 after the second end. And he maintains that 1-point lead, although he did go up by 2 there, but just for a moment.
Yeah, just a moment. And I'm sure he's kicking himself a little bit, thinking, oh, I left the door was open and I could have closed it a little more, and I didn't, so.
Makes for better drama, better suspense.
It does.
Keeps the folks on the edge of the seat, watching at home, wherever that may be around the world. Those targets 50 meters away. Tomorrow they will move those targets out of the way and set up some other targets behind that are 70 meters away for the recurve finals. Well, the recurve quarterfinals we'll have in the morning, and then the semifinals, and then the medal matches. Lots of great archery coming up this weekend from Paris. And a lot of emotion. Braden, one of the most emotional athletes I've seen in this sport.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part it works for him.
Yep, and that's, every sport has to have what works for you. I mean, we go back to, I've always kind of take the page from Jerry Rice of act like you've been there before, you know, so depends on how it works for you. I mean, we watch other wide receivers that are amazing that did dances in the end zone, so it's what works best for you.
Right now it's working for Braden Galantine, who maintains a 1-point edge going to the 4th end. And we'll get a shot, hopefully, of the other target. And there it is. There's the shot by Sergio Pagni.
Puts the pressure on him again, and it's a good shot.
Good shot, bud.
.98-97 now. Low.
A little more of an open door again. And I'm going to say probably Braden will capitalize on it.
Oh, you could see the expression on his face.
Yeah. And he knew it.
He let it go.
Just like we talked about. You know he's kicking himself at times going, man, I had the open door.
I could hear him let out that yell up here. So that was a break for Sergio Pagni, who comes back with a big bullseye there.
And keeps the pressure on. 1 point is not really, it's one arrow, a 9. So he keeps the 1-point lead in the moving end. You know, just like we talked about, that's he's going to walk into the last end knowing he can shoot a 29, and the other guy's got to shoot a 30 to tie him. Which, at this point, you don't want to tie because that closest to dead center can go anyway.
For you personally, do you like it when there's more pressure there, when it's a close match?
Depends on how you're shooting. If you feel like you've got your bow set up and you're just shooting the best you can, it doesn't matter. The close matches are nice because they'll push you more, but the big spreads make you feel more comfortable, and sometimes you shoot a little better. I actually had that 150 I shot in Shanghai. I had somebody come up, and in fact, Dietmar comes up and goes, well, had I not missed, you wouldn't have shot the 150. And I said, I'm not thinking much about that, Dietmar. I'm just shooting what I can, so.
I would imagine some guys do respond better when they're under the gun, have that pressure on them.
It keeps pushing it, you know. It gives you a good push, so.
There's no room for let up here. After 4 ends, it's still anybody's match. A 1-point lead, 117 to 116 in favor of Braden Gelantine of the United States, who has led since the second end. It was tied at 29 to start this match.
5.
And right now, Braden's on top, 117 to 116.
And he puts the pressure
Sergio,
on him.
yes.
Yeah.
Throws down the gauntlet.
Yeah. We're all tied up now.
Now we're tied
Yeah.
with 2 arrows
And
to
you can
go.
see the look on his face of, I had this. So if Sergio can put the pressure back on, it could get interesting. A little nervous. See, and that happens occasionally. He finds out I'm tied. The game's open. Let's see how we go from here. On Braden. Follows it with 10.
Back in front again by 1.
Yeah. Sergio's got to hope for a 10 to put a little pressure on to actually have a chance. And he doesn't. Opens the door. I will just about guarantee this is a 10 from Braden.
All he needs is a 9 to earn his ticket to the gold medal match, and he is there. Braden Gelantine, big hug from his dad, Don. A lot of emotion right there as Braden Gelantine fights off Sergio Pagni. No easy feat.
No.
No small feat at all to defeat Sergio, but he was able to do it. And despite the fact it was tied there late in the match, Braden Gelantine was able to get it back on the very next shot.
Yeah. Like I said, Braden's been shooting good. He's, you know, he's had a good run this year.
He really, really has. Of course, last year won the World Cup title in Tokyo. And then has had a great year so far this year, as Rio Wild just told you. And there's the final score, 146 to 144. So it's in the books. And it will be Braden Gelantine going up against Martin Damsbo for the gold medal. And the bronze medal will be decided between Dominique Genet and Sergio Pagni. So we are through. And there's the sky cam giving us those great shots over the Trocadero fountains here in Paris.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful, you know, venue. It's amazing to me to see some of the things around here.
And an amazing city with great history and more history being made, at least in World Cup archery this afternoon, on a sun-splashed Saturday afternoon in Paris, where the crowds have turned out and have enjoyed some sensational shooting here today. But more to come as we now get set for the women's bronze medal match. We'll reset the stage here. Perhaps change the target faces, get some new fresh faces in there. We started off with 32. And we're now down
with 8. We started with 8.
Well, we started with 8 in each one, but
yes,
overall the whole field was 32.
For the whole field, yeah.
The whole field was 32. But now we're down, and we reduced that field, and we're down to the final 2 for the gold medal.
Yeah.
And just 4 left in each the men and the women's categories.
Yeah, my 5-year-old little girl, she wants to come to Paris. In fact, when I told her I was coming here, she really wanted to go. And I said, well, you got school.
Hey, we waited a while to get to Paris.
Yeah.
You earned it.
Yeah.
So here we go, the bronze medal match. Here at the 2013 Archery World Cup Final in Paris. Compound bronze for the women. And coming back on the stage, Sok Ji-hyun of Korea. Sok Ji-hyun in a close match lost to Erica Jones just moments ago, 144 to 142. You see her world ranking, 4th in the world, 2nd on the World Cup Tour. So Sok Ji-hyun taking on Albina Laganova.
2 individual titles, 1 mixed team title.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Albina shoots very well in this match.
You think she'll respond and come back?
Yeah, like I say, I have that feeling that she really wants this one bad because she doesn't have it. Now you're in a bronze medal match. You can just shoot.
She also has...
I did kind of the same thing to myself in Torino. I wanted to win back-to-back world championships because no one had ever done it before, and didn't shoot real good in the semifinals. And then in the bronze medal match, I shot a 149, one off perfect, and missed it in my 14th arrow. And so,
Well, some added motivation might be for Albina the fact that, to my recollection, Sok Ji-hyun defeated Albina in Shanghai in the semifinals this year. So that's their only meeting before. So there's a little bit more to add to the soup.
So it's a little. That's just I'm going to go out on a limb and call that one.
Albina starts off with a bullseye.
Wheat, 8.
And an
Big
8.
doors open.
Yep. Right from the get-go.
Even more so because they're more relaxed to just really shoot good shots. And her shot's so much different. If you watch it now versus earlier, it was a lot slower, a lot more. You could tell the nerves were there a lot more. And where Sook's never medaled in a World Cup final, she's got them nerves. You know, I mean, there's something that she wants.
And you don't want to go home empty-handed.
No.
But neither does Albina.
Yeah.
What a display of shooting there in the first end. 10-10-10 for Albina Loganova.
9 or 10.
And a
think
rough
it's just
start,
gonna
only
catch.
26 points. Sok Ji-hyun.
I think it's going to catch for a 27, but
I tend to think you're right. I think that will turn out to be in favor of Sok Ji-hyun. That Albina carrying herself, looking a lot more confident than when we saw her in the semifinal match. And a close inspection of that target. Right now, unofficially, it's 26 points. We'll see if they change that.
Scores are official. Albina Loganova.
nope, I was wrong. They called it out.
Sok Ji-hyun,
Just by a hair, back to my 50%.
Miss Sok will be shooting first.
Les scores sont officiels, 30-26. C'est la Coréenne qui va décocher la première flèche de cette nouvelle volée.
So only 26 points.
And nice to start off with the first end with a 4-point lead. And goes back to the fact of now you feel like you got to clean it. So you add that extra pressure to yourself. And
Maybe a little pressure off Sok Ji-hyun as well.
a little bit, yeah. Maybe she thinks, oh, I got to just, you know. But like I said, a lot of times you feel like you got to clean it out. So
9.
that's Albina's first 9.
So a point given back, and the lead is down to 3.
And it might go to the fact where you talked about somebody being right there to push you. You sometimes, and I've seen matches do this, when you get that kind of gap, sometimes you get lazy and all of a sudden it gets close and it changes in a hurry.
And it's hard to flip that
Yep.
switch back on
It
again.
is 100%.
Wheat, 8.
And an 8.
Now it changes a little more.
Перед тем, как поднять руку.
Could see a reversal of fortunes.
9.
Although a 10 would have been better.
Yeah, it would give you a little more of a gap to catch, and you can see the demeanor not real happy with what's going on.
Peace, 10.
She catches
Right on the
10.
line.
For a 27, she loses 1 point out of the 4. You're mad at yourself, but you're not.
Десяточка такая.
But it's not disaster.
No, you.
The ship isn't sinking.
No, especially an 8 can really get you, and so to only be that different, really not. You're not sweating it as bad.
Right.
Even though, like I said, you go back to, I gave her back a point, which might sharpen her back up and get her back to rolling. You know, you don't know what everybody's gonna do. everybody's mental game is a little different.
3-point edge for Albina Loganova here in the bronze medal match of the Archery World Cup Final 2013 in Paris. Carl Archie along with Rio Wild of the United States. And Albina, a little disappointed with that shot. And Sokji Yoon will get a shot at the other target. There we go.
Solid arrow. Puts the pressure back on. Let's see if she steps back up and just keeps it solid again.
So there's another point given back.
Slowly. Just like I said, slowly. Sometimes you start off really hot and you feel that pressure that you can make good shots. And now so the pressure comes back and you're like, ooh, whoa. You know, but she's gonna have to shoot 10s to really put that pressure on her to get that chance to get back in the match.
Ms. Sok not as consistent as she probably needs to be in this match with Albina, who has given her a few opportunities to get back into it, but hasn't really capitalized, which is why she still trails by 3. Fell behind by 4 in the opening end.
Catches
on the line.
이게 쭉 길게 있어요. 딱 끊지만 하고.
Albina on the line. Both of those 10s are on the line, but they both count as 10s.
Yeah.
So Albina in pretty good shape right now to pick up the bronze medal if she can finish out this match. After 9 arrows, 3 ends, she has 86 points.
Which gives her a 3-point lead.
She led by 3 after the second end and maintains that 3-point cushion, 86 to 83 over Sokji Yoon, competing in her first World Cup final. Albina, a veteran of these World Cup finals.
And this can be a little overwhelming to walk into a World Cup finals, the first one you ever do. I mean, I was lucky. I took my wife to the first one in Mexico. She'd never been to an archery tournament with me before. And the first thing I made sure and said to her was, they're not all like this.
Can you imagine if this had been the first one that you had walked into?
Oh, it would be amazing. You know, like I said, I think the first one being the first one we all walked into, it was just awestruck. We were all...
Well, it was such a great concept to initiate for the sport of archery, and really took archery to a different sort of a level. And I think you as archers had to appreciate the fact that now you had a tour.
Yep, 100%. You know, and it's done wonders for archery. I mean, we've moved up in the level of the Olympic Games. We've, you know, I mean, we have coverage now. People are watching this live all over, and it's huge. I mean, look at you have great names. You know, it's something that has produced a sport that people watch. I mean,
well, there are stars in this sport.
Yeah.
Albina Loganova being one of them.
Yeah.
Rio Wild being another. Brady Ellison being another.
Yep. And Albina's giving her little room, but she's not capitalizing totally on this.
And of course, the Koreans huge in their country, particularly in recurve, but coming on in compound.
Yep, I won my first World Outdoor Championships in Ulsan, Korea, and they love archery. I mean, Albina's giving her some more room. So now we're down to a 1-point game.
Getting a little bit interesting right now as Albina, who had that 4-point lead after the first 3 arrows, now leads by 1 single point, 113 to 112, and give Sokji Yoon credit. She's hung in this match.
She has. And you know what's funny is watch her demeanor now. She doesn't have that look of like, oh, I'm done. You can see how it's changed from that 4-point lead to the 1. She now realizes I have a shot. I throw a 30 down there, odds are there's going to be an open door. I could walk away as the winner, or we could go into a shoot-off. So.
And how many times, Rio, do you hear a coach say in a particular sport, we just want to hang around and give ourselves a chance at the end? Well, that's what Sokji Yoon has done.
Yeah, that's it. You want to have that chance to win, no matter what, you know, when it is. When you lose that chance to win, it gets to be a long match. And so.
Well, it's tightening up right now. The suspense
Can she put
building.
the pressure on her? That's the question right now.
Well, this is big shot right here. She can apply the pressure, and she does.
She does. Hanging a lot on that left side. A lot of her arrows in that 10 ring on that left side. You can see Albina shaking a little bit. She's a little...
10.
And she hangs it on the right
barely,
side.
Barely.
Yep. But hangs on to her 1-point lead, so.
That was close.
Yeah. And you get them nerves of getting down. You know that your lead's slipping. You don't like it.
And I'm sure Albina wishes that Sok Ji-hyun would go gently into the good night, but she's not making it easy.
Nope, not at all.
Albina's going to have to really work for this. Is that on the line? What do you think, Rio Wild?
I'm 50-50, but I'm going to go out and say I think it might just be out. But here's the door. So she shoots a 10. It's irrelevant what they call them. She shoots a 9 here. She's going to need that to.
Removes all doubt. Removes all doubt. It is over, and Albina Loganova able to breathe a sigh of relief and raise her arms in victory.
Yeah, it started off really good and then got a lot more close in comfort than she wanted.
Almost got away from her.
It did. And a lot of that, I think, goes to that, just like you said, there are people who prefer for it to be close and push yourself than, because you saw as soon as it got close, she finished with a 30.
Absolutely. Came back and shot all the shots that she needed to. Comes over and shakes hands with Sok Ji-hyun, who's got a great, bright future ahead of her, 23 years old. She had started out as a recurve archer and shot recurve till she was 19, but then realized that compound was her best bet to join the national team. So tough to break through on the recurve side if you're in Korea. So maybe sometimes it is the wiser decision to go ahead and switch over to compound, and it worked out for Sok Ji-hyun. She gets here and she almost wins a bronze medal.
Yeah, 100% I agree. It's one of them things that, well, it's just like in the U.S. The compound men, we have a deep, deep pool to draw from. And it's one of them things a lot of people, you know, I mean, go to a recurve or go do a bare bow or something else because they want to be part of the national team so bad they figure out where they have a little bit of a talent or an itch, because I can only imagine how it is in recurve over there. It's got to be really similar to our compounds. I mean, well, you can look at Dave, Dave Cousins, who qualified for this, but because we already had 2 in, doesn't get to come. He didn't even make our top 8 for our shoot down for the World Championship trials.
I think it's a great point. I was thinking about it walking over here to Trocadero Gardens today. You know, think of all the great archers who aren't here. And that only makes it more impressive, the fact that the archers who did make it here, because of the people who weren't able to make this trip. There's a lot of talent sitting at home right now.
There's a ton. I mean, I thank my stars every time I get to come to one of these, because I know that there's somebody somewhere could have beat me and kept me out of it.
A lot of guys who would deserve to be here, guys and gals. Now, this gal definitely deserves to be here. Alejandra Usquiano from Colombia, who has fought her way into this match. She defeated Sarah Lopez this morning in the quarterfinals. And then this afternoon, she knocked off Albina Loganova 144 to 140. And so ranked 6th in the world, she now takes on Erica Jones, who owns a 5-3 advantage in head-to-head matchups.
And you know that. The only thing is, if she thinks about being young and that she's learned from every one of them matches, you know, has she taken what she's learned and now gonna say, hey, I'm gonna capitalize on this?
It's a golden opportunity for her, a golden opportunity for Erica Jones, who, as we mentioned, has a 5-3 advantage over Usquiano in head-to-head matches. That's not just medal matches, that's also qualifying, eliminations, all the times that they've gone head-to-head over the last couple of years. And so Jones with a little bit of an advantage, but she knows she's in for a tough battle against an archer who's got some momentum now and has got some confidence after these first 2 wins today.
Yep, definitely. This will be a good match. And like I said, Erica's shooting good. Alejandra's shooting good. It'll be a good one.
So much experience for Erica Jones. We mentioned it before earlier in the day. Picked up a bow when she was 6 years old. Started competing in archery tournaments when she was 7. Began shooting professionally in 2006. Won her first world championship at the age of 13. She is now 28 years old. She's been doing this a while. This is not her first rodeo.
No. And having won one of these before, I think, is her
Vamos, agresiva.
biggest advantage.
And did that 2 years ago in Istanbul on the shores of the Bosphorus Strait.
And Alejandra never having won one of these, the pressure's going to be huge. Because not only that, but think what this is in Colombia. This is would be a huge deal.
Nice. One more like that.
I mean, I won the first one. The second one was won by Jorge from El Salvador. And he actually was met by the president of the country to go through customs. So it means a lot to these guys in some of these littler countries that don't have the U.S. that has X amount of big sports and athletes.
Did Jorge get through customs any quicker?
I would think so.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
29 for Erica to start off. Good start.
Yeah.
And at the very worst, she'll be tied if Usquiano can come up with a bullseye, which she cannot. Or does she?
Yep, she does behind that.
Okay,
last
I'm
one.
sorry. Excuse me. The shadow's starting to play tricks on the eyes here in Paris.
Yeah, my dad actually said, you know, it's funny, we met you at the airport. He got the president of the country to come meet him and take him through, so.
So 29-29 our score after the first 3 arrows of this gold medal match here in Paris. And Erica Jones looking cool, calm, and collected. No individual medals last year in 2012. Picked up a bunch this year. 3 silver medals in 3 of the 4 stages. But still looking for that gold medal and trying to break through right here and pick up her 2nd World Cup title.
And you know that eats at you. You know it eats at you. Like,
well, you come that close.
yeah, it's just one of them like, come on.
And each time she lost to a different archer. It was Sok Ji-yoon in Shanghai. It was Usquiano in Medellin. And then it was Albina Loganova in Wrocław, Poland. So now she has a chance to get some revenge against Usquiano, who beat her down in Colombia.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Colombia was a little bit of a challenge. It was a different environment with that wind.
That was a wind tunnel.
Oof.
And as we say that, I hear the wind starting to pick up just a little bit for the first time today.
Yep, definitely a little bit. You can see the flags move a little, and
The windsock starting to move just a tad.
9.
And back-to-back 9s for Erica Jones, which could embolden Alejandra Usquiano. She can't capitalize.
the nerves are getting to both of them. It's a little bit of that. Here, you do this. You want it. I don't want it.
And it's the 3rd match of the day.
Yep. And it's for a lot more.
Exactly.
It's for
when
all
you're
the
shooting
marbles.
eliminations, you shoot 3 matches during elimination in one day. It's not like being out here on this stage.
No. 3 9s for both of them. They're gonna stay tight.
It's neck and neck.
Yeah, it'll come down to who actually just pulls it out and says it's mine.
Heck of a horse race going on right now as you take a good look at Alejandra Usquiano, who I'm sure about this time a year ago did not envision her on this stage in front of the Eiffel Tower, shooting across the fountains at Trocadero Gardens for a gold medal at the World Cup Final.
And Erica's not happy. You can see the look on her face. She's not. But it's one of them things that you get to this point, and these points in these matches, semifinals, finals, there's so much on the line. I remember a World Indoor match where I faced Dave to go into the gold medal match, and we were in Denmark, and we both shot, I mean, a good score is a 119 on that round. We both shot 114. And then I beat him in a shoot-off. I mean, the other match was like a 118 to 119. But we knew what the other person was capable of. We'd done so much against each other, and we knew it was on the line. And so it's one of them things. It happens sometimes. When
It's not always going to be a work of art, is it?
No. Just like you said about a pretty 10 or a not pretty 10, right now either one would have taken a 10 that last hand.
Like saying Cindy Crawford has big earlobes. That's a thing of beauty right there.
Yep.
Just like that.
Boy, she's tough, isn't she?
Erica is tough. Very mentally strong.
So strong. And so is Usquiano.
And that's the thing about a young person. A lot of times somebody new, they don't have a full avenue of what's happening.
They don't know any better.
They don't.
Yep. One more like
I don't mean
that.
this,
Finish
and I hope it's
strong.
not taken the wrong way, but sometimes ignorance is bliss. If you have not been in that situation, it doesn't cloud your mind.
Yep, 100%.
It's almost as though it's a clean slate for her. Hey, this is all new.
This is fun. I'm just having a good time here.
Even though she now trails by 1, 76-75 in the gold medal match. Erica, a little high.
Yep. Opens the door for her to end up with another tie after this end.
And I'll bet what she's thinking, and we'll let Usquiano take this shot. That's a 10. And what Erica's thinking is she's not thinking about the 210 she shot off with those first 2 arrows. She's thinking about the 9 on that 3rd shot.
Yep, she is. She's not. You can probably look at her demeanor or her face and say, you know.
Both archers tied at 85.
But Alejandra is, you know, she's solid. She knows what's going on. She's focused.
And she's after it. She's very hungry right now.
Yeah.
Representing Colombia at the age of 20 in her first World Cup final appearance. She did not compete in Shanghai at stage 1, was only 17th at Antalya, then won the gold medal in Medellin, defeating Sarah Lopez along the way, finished 6th in Wrocław, defeated Sarah Lopez this morning in a quarterfinal shoot-off, both shooting 9s, but Usquiano shot closest to the center. Then she comes back this afternoon, defeats Albina Loganova, and here she is, lo and behold, in the gold medal match, and she's tied up after the first 9 arrows at 85 points apiece. It doesn't get any better.
Nice. Some more like that.
Erica's throwing the pressure back on her, so we'll see if we end up with another tight end this time.
I'll see you. I can't raise you, but I'll see you.
Yeah, we'll match.
Still tied, 95.
Nice. One more like that. One more.
Match that. And Usquiano does.
It's a fun match.
We are raising the stakes right now, my friend.
You do it, I can do it a little better.
Ooh, I could tell as soon as
Yeah, just like we talked about.
she threw that bow arm out there.
Yeah. Now can she take the advantage in the moving end? No.
Usquiano blinks.
Yep. Let me open the door for you. No, we'll just stay where we're at.
And it makes you wonder. I mean, especially me, the layperson. I mean, you've been shooting 10s. Here's your opportunity. What's different?
You know that there's like, it's the chance of like, this could be the arrow to win.
You become anxious?
Yes, 100%. This could be the arrow to win. I mean, and I thought maybe it's just me sometimes. I was in a match at a shoot-off for the NFA Indoor Nationals, and Chance Bobev, who's a great shot, a world champion, we had shot the first 2 ends, and he had missed 2. And I had 2 in, and oh, this is good. Boom, 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 boom. Finished the other 3 really fast, and I missed the next 3, and he put the 3 in to beat me. And I thought, well, maybe I'm the only person that does that. And
nope.
Jesse Broadwater, who was a really good shooter, shot really good with some little arrows, and they go inside out. And he told me he'd done the same thing that year. And so we all do it. And so I think a little bit is, ooh, the door's open, let me close it. And it's like, ugh.
That's Rio Wild. I'm Carl Archey, and you are watching the women's gold medal final here at the Archery World Cup Final in Paris.
The last 3 arrows. Ooh, and she poked a little low. Now, here's the open door, because every time it seems that she started off really good and put the pressure on. So does Alejandra step up and take the door? Yep.
Yes, she does. A huge opportunity, and she steps right through to grab a 1-point lead with 2 arrows to go. Erica fights back.
Nice.
Puts the pressure back on her, hoping that she can get that 1 back.
So a 9 right here, and it's tied at 10. And Usquiano keeps the 1-point lead, and she does with another 10.
Solid X.
Right down Grand Central.
So Erica knows she needs this for a chance.
Ooh, a 9. So now it would have to be an 8 to send this to a shoot-off. If not, it's a 10, 9, and that's enough to set off a celebration in South America. Colombia winning the gold medal here in Paris. Alejandra Usquiano. And the celebration is on down in Medellin.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Like I said, they've got two young shooters that over the next few years, the women's division should be keeping their eyes open, because if they can find a solid third, they will be tough to beat.
She has just become a rock star.
Yeah, definitely.
In Colombia, in Medellin.
Yep, definitely.
They may have the president, they may have the mayor.
Well, it's a big deal.
What a huge win for Alejandra Usquiano.
And Erica shot well. She didn't give it to her at any
brilliantly.
point. You know, shot really well. You can't take that away from her. It was a great match to watch down to the last arrows.
But it was that opening 9.
Yep, the opening 9 of the last end. Yep.
And that's the one I'm sure that Erica Jones will be thinking about, not just today, but tomorrow and maybe a week from now. The best thing for Erica probably to get back out there shooting again and get ready for the World Championships.
Yeah, that's the one thing. We're not getting a lot of time to play or do anything. We're going right from here to Turkey for the World Championships. So.
Usquiano from Colombia.
And Alejandra Usquiano, along with her teammate Sarah Lopez, going right to Belek, Turkey as well, and getting ready for the World Championships. That's her coach. She'll be with her team and her coach as they head to Turkey. But Alejandra Usquiano,
with a great chance for him to do some damage in the medals at the World Championships in a team event.
So the silver goes to Erica Jones, Usquiano gets the gold, and Albina Laganova will accept the bronze medal. All right, moving on to the men's compound bronze medal match here in Paris at the 2013 Archery World Cup Final. Carl Larkey along with Rio Wild as Dominique Genet comes back out to the shooting line. Dominique Genet, 44 years old, ranked 7th in the world. Started the day by defeating my partner, Rio Wild. And by the way, I appreciate you coming up. I appreciate it, pal. I know you'd rather be out there.
I would much rather be out there, but it happened.
And listen to that roar from the crowd here in Paris for Dominique Genet, who will medal for the first time all season long. He picked his spot well. Had not picked up an individual medal here in 2013.
Well, he could end up with a 4th place, so he could be just out of the medals again.
True. He's got his hands full with Sergio Pagni.
Yeah.
Sergio Pagni, the only athlete to repeat as a World Cup final champion, 2009, 2010 in Copenhagen and in Edinburgh. He was hoping this would be his 3rd title in 5 years. That will not be the case. That will not be the story for Sergio, but he can go home with a bronze.
Yeah, and that's a tall order for anybody. As tough as competition is nowadays, to win 3 out of 5 is...
You know, you talk to Sergio, and if you're around him at all, and you're around him much more than I am, but the little that I've been exposed to him, he just has a good mindset.
Oh, he's really mellow, nice, super nice guy. In fact, I actually met his father today. He come up and he shook my hand, and he goes, "Hey, I'm Sergio's dad." And I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. You know, it's good to get to meet people that are families of you know, guys that I shoot and I spend a lot of time with." So
it's nothing personal.
No,
just business.
Yeah. You know what I learned a long time ago? You can't let emotions of how you feel about a person affect how you shoot. And both these two, this should be a good match because it's a bronze medal match. They're going to throw some good scores because they're both, you know, they wanted the gold, but now they're in the bronze, and it's a little less pressure in the bronze than it is in the gold. So.
And for Dominique Genet shooting here in Paris, in his home country, in Paris, what this would mean to him to win a bronze medal.
Yeah,
not that it wouldn't be important to Sergio. Obviously, it is.
Yes, it would. It's anybody winning a medal here is nice, and so to do it in your home country, though, it just adds a lot. You know, and even Sergio, his dad's here. You know, so it's a little different here in Europe because people who live in the countries close can get here. You know.
Yes, I do know that,
yeah,
yes. Some of our crew will be driving home after we're done here this weekend. It's a 5-hour drive home. You and I will be on an 11, 12-hour flight to Salt Lake City, and you even further up to Pocatello. So.
Yeah, well, I'm actually My wife's going to meet me in Salt Lake City. We're going to a barbecue after, so it'll be a long flight and then a good time with my family. I miss my girls, so.
So Logan's actually going to do a little cooking for you?
No, it's her family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're all tied, 30 all here in this bronze medal match. Dominique Genet, his third appearance of the day. And facing Sergio Pagni.
L'Italien décochera la première flèche de cette deuxième volée, cible numéro 1.
The southpaw, the left-hander, Sergio Pagni, starts off with a 9. So the first shot not in the 10 ring here in this match.
Yeah, and we'll see if Dominic can follow it up.
Talk a little bit about the release that these guys are using.
Each one's using a little different. Sergio actually lets one that as you press it in and as you let it off, it goes off. It's kind of a...
Almost a trigger?
No, it's not a trigger because it's opposite. A trigger you'd squeeze off. His is something that you release pressure. Yes.
Okay.
Where Dominic's is a trigger. It has more, it's more of a tension. You put more pressure on it and it'll go off.
And you shoot with?
That's what they call a back tension. It's kind of a hook that as it rolls as you pull, it goes off. So a lot of different aspects of what works for different people.
That worked.
Yeah. Like I said, I think this is going to be a great match. They'll both shoot really solid, and usually you'll see it's actually kind of funny. The scores in the bronze medal match are usually a little higher than they are in the gold medal match.
So the crowd solidly behind Dominique Genet, as you would expect here in Paris. 59 out of a possible score of 60 for Sergio Pagni. So brilliant shooting.
Yeah.
And Sergio's been brilliant all day long.
Yeah. 59-59.
Genet, of course, losing to Damsbo in the semifinal match.
Which Martin has shot solid scores all day. You know, I mean, it's 147. They missed that last one, but like we talked about, you can kind of throw that out the window. You know, and Braden shot his 148 and his 146, I believe.
Braden shot 146 and defeated Sergio by 2 points, 146 to 144.
So it should be a good final.
Oh, it'll be great. Braden and Martin Damsbo. And it'll be their third time around this summer.
Yeah.
They know each other very well, as do Sergio Pagni and Dominique Genet.
I think that one's just going to be out. But you can feel the wind pick up a little.
It's probably blowing as strong as it has all day.
And an 8 opens the door pretty good for Sergio.
Pagni up by at least 1, if not 2.
Allez, Dom.
Going for the jugular.
Yeah. And it can be a huge swing if that first one's a 10. Ooh, same spot, similar shots. You see that happen sometimes when somebody makes a shot that their body repeats it.
I was going to ask you what accounts for that, especially when it's in the same area.
Yeah, you'll do a lot of times like maybe your, what I call your bow arm helps you fire it, which will make it go a little low left. And so a lot of times once it does it one time, the body thinks, hey, that worked okay, let's do it again. Because it don't know where it landed, it just know it went off.
A little bit better, but a very disappointing end right there.
And really opens a gap for Sergio.
Les deux premières étaient moins, un peu plus fermées sur la longueur. Par contre, la dernière est bien.
So after starting off even in the first 6 arrows, Sergio Pagni now has a score of 88. And this partisan crowd trying to rally Dominique Genet, who now has a score of 85 and has an uphill climb ahead of him, trailing by 3 with just 6 arrows to go, trying to get the bronze medal. Now, France has medaled today in the mixed team.
Yeah.
In a bit of an upset, as Pascal Lebec and Pierre-Julien Deloche teamed up to defeat Marcello Tonioli and Sergio Pagni, which was, I think, in everybody's mind, an upset. Sergio and Marcello had been so dominant this summer in the mixed teams.
Yeah, they're the #1 ranked mixed team in the world, so it's... I know when we beat them in Colombia for the World Games medal, it was Erica informed me that me and her are the only 2 head-to-head that had beat the Italians in the mixed team. And so...
You spent a lot of time in Colombia this summer, didn't you?
I did. I was there.
All right, so Dominique comes back with a bullseye.
They did a great job with the World Cup down in Medellin for the first time. It was ran really well. Could have cut back on the wind a little bit, but
other than that, the organizing committee,
Yeah.
the city itself, just a beautiful, beautiful city. Great hospitality. But yes, it was a wind tunnel.
But you walk into this now, and Sergio's got a 4-point lead. It's and with another 9, Dominique's opening the door even more.
Allez, Dom.
10 alle 9.
So Pagni's starting to pull away. Opened up some daylight in the 3rd end. Increasing that lead now here in the 4th as the clock ticks down. And Dominique Genet
Comes back strong.
with the 10.
But Sergio could keep this a 5-point lead with 3 arrows left. That's a pretty healthy.
But considering it's Sergio Pagni,
Yeah.
I think the chances are pretty good. It's going to be pretty tough for Dominique Genet to get back into this thing.
Yeah, 5 points with 3 arrows left.
And you can see it written all over his face right there. He knows his situation.
Yeah. It's not a happy scenario for you. It's, you know, that's a part that I'm pretty happy with. Most of the people around here, the guys that you shoot, win, lose, or draw, they're not, you know, there are some that are sour losers, but for the most part, archery has a pretty good bunch.
"12 arrows shot, a score of 119 for Sergio Pagni. Sergio did not have a lot of success individually this summer. Was 8th in Shanghai, 33rd in Antalya, 9th in Medellin. Did pick up a silver medal in Wrocław.
114 points.
But he got today started with a win over Pierre-Julien Deloche in the quarterfinals, 149 to 146. Then lost to Braden Gelantine in the semifinals, and is trying to come up with a 2nd win of the day here against Dominique Genet,
Which looks pretty good right now, his odds. I like his odds.
The bronze medal here in Paris.
Genet with a 9.
Just even opens it more and lets Sergio relax and shoot 3 good arrows. And
Allez, Dom.
9.
Vale 6.
or
Sergio
relax
with
and
a
go,
9.
I just want him in the target and let's get this done and over with. 2 trains of thoughts there.
Sergio was so relaxed coming here to Paris. He and his wife going out the other night just to take pictures and stroll around the town and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, it's really, really nice sometimes to have that aspect with you.
You can mix a little bit of business with pleasure.
Yeah.
Right now, Sergio's all business, another 9. But he can afford to be shooting 9s right now.
Yeah, he's still keeping his 5-point lead. It's not, like I said, a lot of times you like get him in the paper and let's score him and let's get the card signed and call it in.
So Dominique finishes with his head held high. A bullseye to finish out this match. He will finish 4th, which is an improvement over last year in Tokyo when he came in 7th. Sergio Pagni, though, comes away with the bronze medal for Italy. Sergio Pagni, great sportsman, both great sportsmen. The Italian, the Frenchman, exchanging handshakes. And the man who recommends that you visit Tuscany as soon as you can and as often as you can. I said, I would love to. I will come and visit as soon as I have the time and the money.
Yeah.
I would love to see Tuscany. Lives outside of Florence. Beautiful part of the world. And the merry-go-ride.
It's good, and it's good for him to come away with a bronze medal with his dad here. You know, that's always a plus.
The merry-go-round ride, as I was going to say, is over now for Dominique Genet, as he falls by 5 points, 147 to 142. Sergio Pagni with a convincing victory in the bronze medal men's match. And so Sergio just adding to his career totals as he comes up with a nice victory here today. His only loss coming in the semifinals, and that was to Braden Gelantine by only 2 points.
Yeah, and it was close. I mean, it went down. It was neck and neck, back and forth, like you and I talked for a long time.
So congratulations to Sergio Pagni, who had shoulder problems earlier in the year, overcame those problems. Got married last year, says he's more focused than he's ever been before. And he used that focus and concentration here today to pick up a bronze medal. So now we set the stage for the final medal match in compound competition here on this Saturday afternoon in Paris. And again, great sights, sounds, and pictures being brought to you by our production crew, World Archery, providing the live coverage as we get set for the gold medal final between Braden Gelantine and Martin Damsbo, the United States versus Denmark.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
And this is the third meeting this year between these two. Martin Damsbo lost to Braden Gelantine in Shanghai at stage 1, and then returned the favor in the bronze medal match at stage 2 in Antalya. So they've met twice this year in World Cup competition at the first 2 stages. Braden won the first match. Damsbo won the second one. And now we've got the rubber match.
I agree. It'll be interesting. If you go by scores today, Martin has a little higher edge over Braden, but usually that doesn't mean a lot.
And the thing to remember about that match in which Damsbo beat Braden, that was with Martin Damsbo's backup bow.
Yeah.
Braden was using Martin's backup bow. So, I don't know if you can throw that one out or not. Maybe you can.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a tough one, to be honest. You just don't. You have to throw it out because you don't know.
He hadn't practiced with it. He wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
It was a great sportsmanship move by Martin Damsbo to let him use his backup bow to compete against him.
100% I agree.
But you could tell throughout that match that Braden was uncomfortable, to say the very least.
Yeah, and joking, and he knew that it wasn't up to par for what he wanted. Braden starts it off strong.
First arrow flies and finds the 10 ring. And that always makes you feel better.
Yeah. Break the ice, as you could call it. Like I said, Martin shot solid all day today.
And all year.
Yeah. Not that Braden hasn't by any means.
No, both outstanding archers and outstanding gentlemen. And it's game on.
Mm-hmm.
15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
9.
Ooh, first little glitch there.
Seemed to hold it quite a while.
Yeah.
Braden with a quick shot.
Braden gives him a chance back, actually.
So at 10 right here, we're tied up at 29 all.
Opschool in.
Damsbo fully capable
10, 9,
tying this one up, and he does.
klokken 3 lige nu.
So we're tied at 29 after the first 3 arrows. Gold medal match. Martin Damsbo, who defeated Patrick Larson this morning in the quarterfinals, then defeated Dominique Genet by 4 points in the semifinals, and now is in the gold medal match against Braden Galantine of the United States. Braden, of course, and we've said it before, an outstanding season. 3 gold medals in Shanghai to start the year. Had a chance at a bronze medal in Antalya. We've talked about that already. Did pick up a silver in Medellin and a team gold medal in Poland just a month ago. In the quarterfinals this morning, he defeated Korea's Min Leong by 1 point. And then this afternoon, big win over Sergio Pagni by 2 points and earned the right to get into this gold medal match.
Yeah, and like I said, they're both shooting well. It could go back to just like we saw with Erica and Alejandro. I mean, it could be like, here, your turn. Nope. Oh,
you take it. Nope,
yep.
You take it.
Back and forth.
So the judges have given them the go-ahead. And we move on to the second end.
Neuf, 9.
He opens the door a little bit.
Femten. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Damsbo trying to hold it steady, and that's a 9.
Yeah, it goes back to like, ooh, can you put that one in that you want because you know what this is worth.
Perfect.
Nice one. Yeah.
Femten. 10, 9, 8.
And Damsbo matches him.
Midt 10 klokken 5.
Neuf, 9.
So 2 9s in that end for Braden Galantine.
Yeah. Can Martin capitalize on it? Can he say he wants it bad enough now to put this one in the middle and start the?
10.
Nope.
He wanted it, but he couldn't capitalize.
Yep. Couldn't capitalize on that arrow.
At times, do you find yourself wanting to be just too perfect?
Yes, and you get too timid and too slow on your release and things go on. You try to perfect things too much instead of being aggressive and strong, and that happens a lot. Just like I said, when I said Albina would come out and shoot really strong, she did because she had no fear. She wanted the bronze, but she was already disappointed enough that the bronze would be a little bit of a soother, but not the biggest thing in the world. And so you see that a lot. Like I said, you see more scores higher in the bronze medal match than you do a lot in the gold because there's still so much
There's so much at stake here right now.
Yeah, and then, I mean, like, as much as we want to say number 2's good, what do we remember? Who was first?
We remember the gold medalist.
Yep.
And the point is it is so hard to get here. And you never know when you'll get another chance.
Yep.
And you want to capitalize when you are here.
Yep.
I mean, you're looking at a guy right there in Martin Damsbo who went 3 years from 2010 to 2013 without ever making a gold medal match on the World Cup Tour. And now here he is in the World Cup Final.
Yep. Well, and archery's really a lot of who puts the effort in at times. A lot of it. Let's open the door again.
You know, I always remember that line from the movie Field of Dreams. You know, the doc says, I always thought there'd be another day.
Yeah, yeah.
And there wasn't another day.
Yeah. And the thing is right here, you keep thinking the other guy's going to finally take this. You know, if I'm in Braden's shoes and I keep giving 9s, I'm like, man, this guy's going to eventually start getting me a little bit. So
9.
3 9s.
can Martin finally capitalize on one of them 3?
15,
Boy, the pressure mounting. The nerves fraying a little bit.
9,
A no.
And weariness
3 more
setting
9s.
in. Yeah, 3 more 9s.
Nous sommes toujours à égalité. 84.
And they both know. They look at each other like, come on, man.
And the match isn't over yet.
Yeah.
Just putting on a great show for all of us, showing
But at least they're having fun.
Yeah, and that's what I say. Most of the part, archery, the competitors are they really get along well, and it's a good time.
And as much as they're matched against each other, it's really you and the target, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
More than anything.
Well, you try to do that. That's one thing you try to do. But you know what I mean? That's where it's at. And so I honestly think that we all, in this format more so, put you in the head of like, what's the other guy doing? What's the other guy doing? Where a lot of times when we just shoot the eliminations, we can focus on what we're doing ourselves because we usually will do a little more of that. So
the next time somebody tells me that they're not paying attention to what the other guy's doing, I shouldn't believe them.
yeah. Especially in this situation, because when the guy yells at 10, you know exactly what he shot.
Something else that's on the line for,
An
an
8.
8 for Braden Galantine. I was going to say he's also battling for that Longines prize for precision.
Which I think he probably pretty much has locked.
Probably does.
Yeah.
Now that the guy he was battling with is sitting up here talking to me.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's my first match loss pretty much gave that to him.
He's had a couple of 10 since then, and there's another one.
Yeah. But I gave Denzel a 2-point lead, and so
15,
you know that gives him an advantage.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
9.
Well, that
Damsbo.
cuts it back to 1.
Yep.
This is our moving in, like I talked about. How close can you get it, or how far can you spread it?
Down by 1. Braden
it's a 9.
Galantine with a 9.
For a 27.
15. Ops på vind.
So 8, 9, 10, but he fought that shot. You could
Comes
see
back,
him
it
fighting
hangs a
it.
9.
8 or 9.
So he only gains 1 point on that end, which with a 27, you're kicking yourself going, man, I could have gained a lot more.
Close.
And if you're Braden Galantine, you're kind of breathing a sigh of relief. It could be a lot worse.
Yeah, oh, 100%. You're like, man, I gave him a lot of open doors to get in and out of there, and it's just, you know, I mean, you kick yourself a lot, especially when you're a young guy like Martin trying to get some titles. I mean, Braden's won some stuff, and so it's not as big a deal, and so, you know, I mean,
1 point lead over Braden Galantine.
I've been lucky to see young guys come and see different things. I mean, the young guy that was on my team with me in Columbia, Steve Anderson, when he lost, he was really bummed the whole time because he felt like he had the doors open to go and just didn't capitalize on it.
That 9. Martin Damsbo leads 112.
Torben Johansson in the coach's box
111.
for Martin Damsbo. And it all comes down to 3 arrows, 3 shots to put your name in the record book, win the gold medal. Braden Galantine down by 1.
And he starts off putting
Bullseye.
the pressure on it. Yep. Now let's see if Martin can match it.
15.
No, he
We're
can't.
tied up.
High score.
Just like that.
Yep. And Martin, you can see Martin, like he knew.
And the world's a different place for Braden Galantine right
He now
now.
knows he's got a breath of air.
Great grouping right there.
Yep.
Back in the 10 ring.
15.
We're going down to the wire here in Paris. Trocadero Fountains, Trocadero Gardens.
9.
Martin Damsbo needing a 10, getting a 10.
Yep.
High score.
Nous sommes à égalité.
So it's basically, if we don't go to a shoot-off, this may be the shoot-off right
It's
here.
good. It's a 1 arrow right now.
1 arrow. Oh, a 10 for Braden
Right, he
Galantine.
sticks it in there to put the pressure on. Now all you can do is sit there and hope and say, well, we're either going to go shoot off or I'm going to win it outright.
He's done all he can do.
Yep.
It comes down to Martin Damsbo. All the pressure in the world on his shoulders, and he comes through.
Shoot off.
High score. Gold
What a great shot by Martin Damsbo. What a great match going on right here. And these two guys are loving it. They bring out the best in each other.
Oh, they do. I mean, they're both.
Who would you say brings out the best in you? Anybody in particular?
I can't say that anybody does. Like on the edge, like I do more myself than when I lose or I win, it's more because of what I did than somebody else, you know.
Now, do you enjoy a shoot-off situation? It looks like these two guys are having fun, but this has got to be nerve-wracking.
Oh, and sometimes you want to have that image that we're having fun because it helps break it up a little bit. And I've seen guys that at times when they do that to try and break their nerves, or they try and do that to make themselves feel, you know, different, so that they don't feel like, hey, I'm trying to be the mean guy and the other guy wants to get mad and work harder at it. You know, you try and take that edge off because, you know, some guys, if they get that edge, are going to be mad and do that. So.
Well, both hopefully enjoying the moment right here, and it's going to come down to a one-arrow shoot-off closest to the center to decide the gold medal. And how fitting is that?
Yeah.
In this tremendous setting.
Well, and Braden has the advantage of the shooting first, being the higher-ranked archer coming in.
So he can apply the pressure right here.
Yeah, and Braden's really, really a pretty good shoot-off shooter. He puts a lot of them in the middle.
Going for the kill.
Oh,
but that doesn't look like a kill shot to me.
Open door, and I can guarantee Braden is not happy. And Martin should be able to relax and say, I can shoot a 10 and it wins.
It's all in his hands, and he wins it. Martin Damsbo in a shoot-off. Doffs his cap to his competitor, shakes his hand. What a sportsman. What a great champion. Martin Damsbo from Denmark. And you know, both great guys, both great competitors, but this could not happen to a better guy.
No, and Martin's deserving of it. You know, I talked to some of the people from Denmark earlier this year, and they talked about how he'd been working really hard, shooting great scores all year. I mean, like every tournament he shot this year he shot 7-10, 7-10, 7-10, which are great scores, but it was just frustrating him because he knew how hard he was working. He felt like he could do better. And so to see him come out on top after all that hard work and everything, always a great thing.
So this season, he's defeated Sergio Pagni. He's defeated Rio Wild, which is a real feather in his cap, Peter Elzinga, and now here in the gold medal match, he gets the best of Braden Gelantine in a one-arrow shoot-off as Damsbo drills a bullseye on the final shot and defeats Braden Gelantine in the shoot-off 10-9 to win the match, win the gold medal, bring gold back home to Denmark. Yeah, I think he'll have his name in the newspaper in Denmark tomorrow.
Yep, big deal, like I say.
That's what we'll call him from now on. Big deal, Martin Damsbo.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
What a great
It's a
feeling.
good sigh. I mean, you can see the sigh in his face that it's just like, I've done it finally. I broke that, you know, because he's been in finals before.
Well, and you've been there, and you've been in his shoes before. You've felt what he's feeling right now. What's that like? I mean, is it almost a numb feeling?
It almost doesn't seem real at first. It doesn't set in, and it'll go on today, and it'll probably go on tonight, and you just don't. It doesn't really set in till just maybe about. For me, about a month later, it really goes, oh, I did win that. That was pretty cool, you know. And right now, it just does. It seems so unreal. It has that aspect of, I don't know what I just did. You know, was it really, truly? You know, and I liken it to Phil Mickelson. You know, he said he had that dream that he had won the U.S. Open, and he walked out that day and didn't win, but then he went on to win the British Open. And it seems so unreal that he actually hauled his trophy with him to the Players' Championship just so he really realized he had one.
Keep it close.
Yep. Then it doesn't set in for it just takes a little while because it's so an amazing feeling that it's unreal. It just, you know, I mean, winning Vegas this year, it seemed really unreal. You know, you don't know.
Well, he joined such a select group He joins you, Rio Wild. You won in 2006 down in Mexico. In Dubai, it was Jorge Jimenez. Im Dong-young in Lausanne. Or excuse me. Yeah, no, not Im Dong-young. Dietmar Trillis.
Yeah.
Won in Lausanne.
And Sergio twice.
Sergio Pagni in 2009 in Copenhagen.
Then
Sergio
Roger
in
Willett.
Edinburgh. Roger Willett Jr., yes, in Istanbul.
And then Braden.
Braden last year. So it is a select fraternity. Just a handful of guys who understand right now what Braden Galantine and also what Martin Damsbo are feeling.
And it's, like I say, it's grown so big over the years. That is such a different deal. I mean, we talk about a lot of things, but to know that at one point you were the best person in the world to stand on that stage is an amazing feeling.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the Longines.
So it's now time to hand out the hardware, the medals, the watches, the money. And money is a part of this. We don't want to forget about that.
100% agreed.
20,000 Swiss francs.
This is 5,000 for the Longines Award and a nice watch.
And it goes to the two Americans, Braden Galantine and Erica Jones. The Longines Prize for Precision, which goes to the most precise male and female athletes throughout the World Cup season. These athletes who shoot the most 10s during the individual qualifications and in matches, they win a trophy, a Longines watch, and a check for 5,000 Swiss francs. The award established in 2010, it goes to the recurve athletes in the even years. This year being an odd year, it goes to the compound athletes. Erica Jones, of course, came in to Paris on top of the rankings in the Longines Prize for Precision race. She had 352 bullseyes coming here, which was 30 more than her closest competitor, Albina Laganova. And Erica performing very, very well, getting to the gold medal match and just coming up a little bit short, but she certainly salted away the victory for the Longines Prize for Precision. And on the men's side, it was a battle coming to Paris between my pal Rio Wild and Braden Galantine. Both had 416 10s. You weren't keeping track, though, were you?
Oh, I was.
You were?
It was actually funny because I went into Poland going, that's one thing I would like to get a little closer, because when me and Roger were at last time, I walked into Turkey with 5 back, and I just couldn't catch that. And I thought, well, if I walk in here equal or ahead, I have a legitimate shot at catching him or winning or whatever. And so just luck of the fate today, not shooting as well as I liked, and that's how it worked out. But I will tell you right now, both of these two would probably trade this for a gold medal.
Oh, I'm sure that they would. But you being the competitor, and they're competitors as well, you compete over everything. I remember hearing about Michael Jordan. He was competitive in a game of cards, wanted to win a card game.
Yeah. Oh, we play all kinds of different things, and we game against each other and bet and laugh and have a good time. I mean, as a rapport, me and Braden have been on a lot of teams together and a lot of things, and we get along pretty well. We, laugh back and forth. In fact, actually, we're in a fantasy football league. And right now we're both 2-0, the only 2 undefeated in our whole league. So
go Bears.
Yeah. So we have a good little rivalry there, and it's just it's fun, and it drives you to be better. I mean, you think about it, Braden number 2 in the world right now. I'm number 1. It's been back and forth. Braden had it for a month this year, was number 1. I was number 2. It's good camaraderie that pushes you to be better.
So congratulations to both Braden Galantine and Erica Jones on winning the Longines Prize for Precision here in the year of 2013. That's a lot of bullseyes by both Braden and Erica, and hats off to them for that amazing accomplishment. They pick up the watch, they pick up the trophy, and the check for 5,000 Swiss francs. And since the dollar's pretty strong these days, that's a little bit more than 5,000 American.
Yeah, oh yeah, it is. In fact, it turns out to be a little more. It's a nice change that you get a little more.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. By the way, while we have a moment, we want to thank our sponsors, the official sponsors of World Archery and the Archery World Cup Final 2013. Of course, Kia Motors, Sport Toto, Fila, Turkish Airlines, T4s, and Longines, all teaming up to bring you World Cup Archery and this 2013 Archery World Cup Final.
Help archery grow to a level that You know, like I said, in 06, you'd have never thought this would be something we'd ever have.
Well, I think between what World Archery has done with this tour and also the Olympics that we saw last summer in London, the sport's gaining more and more attention. More good athletes are deciding to participate and devote themselves to this sport. And we're going to see the quality of competition, the quality of athlete just get better and better and better.
Oh, 100% agreed. As you see money available for athletes to maybe train full-time and do it full-time, you see the money go up and you see them be able to work harder. It's just only going to get better, like as any sport.
I think we saw 55 countries in London last summer for the Summer Games, which set a new record to have 55 athletes and as many participants as they had, and it's growing. And it's all part of a very, very, very strategic effort on the part of World Archery. Tom Dillon, the Secretary General of World Archery, Dr. Erdner.
Juan Carlos, who works tirelessly.
Oh, Juan Carlos Holgado, the world's most interesting man. Who does an amazing job. And just so folks know, this venue really does not exist. It was created. I mean, the Trocadero Gardens is obviously here. It's a famous site in Paris. The fountains are very famous. But to create this venue for archery on this site is an amazing accomplishment in and of itself. And our hats off to Tom Dillon and Juan Carlos Holgado and the entire crew from World Archery for putting all this together.
And they do an amazing job. I mean, you look at some of these venues we have and places we go and what they've done for archery. I mean, almost honestly, you know, I mean, we know who our Olympic medalists are, but they have made the World Cup so big that people actually know World Cup champions and World Cup competitors almost better than they know an Olympic medalist.
Well, they get to see more often.
100%.
The Olympics are once every 4 years, and they show up. And that's not to put the Olympics down by any stretch of the imagination. They're still the premier event. But to have something where you can be showcased, you, meaning you, and the rest of the archers can be showcased on a regular basis. People can get to know you. People can get to follow you and have their favorites.
And honestly, that's what, when Juan Carlos and them put this together originally, that was the thing. The Olympics wanted sports to start making names. So when it came to the games, that wasn't the only thing that made names. You walked in with names that people wanted to see.
Sure.
And so, I mean, you look at going into this Olympics, Brady Ellis was huge. Bigger than we'd ever really had anybody going into the games. And so,
well, this young lady certainly made a name for herself today. She has exploded. I won't say burst on the scene. She's exploded on the scene with the victory in Medellin. She won a team gold medal in Antalya, and she comes here today and wins 3 matches in a row, defeating her teammate Sarah Lopez, then defeating Albina Loganova, and then defeating Erica Jones. That is saying something.
Yep.
That's a day's work.
That's a pretty good list to be beaten. I mean, you know, and then you get to walk away with the big heavy hand trophy. Her 20,000 Swiss francs. That's a pretty good day's work.
She needs 3 or 4 hands to handle all this.
Yeah, you're juggling the whole time, trying to figure out what you can do.
You know what, though? That's a good dilemma to have.
100% I agree.
So congratulations to Alejandra Usquiano of Colombia, the gold medalist, Erica Jones, the silver medalist, and Albina Loganova from Russia, the bronze medalist.
Mesdames et messieurs,
You can only imagine what is going through the mind of Alejandra Usquiano and the emotions she's feeling right now as she's joined atop the podium by Albina Loganova and Erica Jones.
Like I said, I'm sure it hasn't set in yet. I mean, like, you're excited and you're happy, you know, because when you lose, you have that feeling of, oh, I let down. It's not, you know, you're not as got the anxieties, but you're excited, but you just don't, it doesn't set in until the reality of what has really taken place. You know, I mean, she's going to walk out of here and go on to the World Championships and feel like she's got confidence, she's going to do well, but you just, and sometimes what happens is it sets in quicker than you think, because she may get to the World Championships and all the interviews and everything else now that are going to be, you are the, let's put
There's
it
more
on you.
pressure, there's more distractions.
I firmly believe that we look at Chris Perkins, went to the World Championships in Torino, won it, and then a month or so later he went to the Junior World Championships and got knocked out fairly early. You know, I mean, you put yourself in that situation because now you've won the senior, they expect you to walk through and win the junior.
Sure.
And so it's a different pressure. Now he's realized what he's done and how big it is, and so, okay, yeah, now, whoa, wow, now I'm the big thing here, and I'm expected to win. And there's a presence that's harder to go from this, well, I don't know what I'm doing. It's that ignorance is bliss to get to, oh, now I'm expected to win, now I gotta win.
Well, and like so many other things in life, Rio, and you and I both know this, it's always a what have you done for me lately kind of a world, and so you've done this today, but now that's not going to buy you anything down the road. You got to go out there and earn it again.
Yep, no, 100% I agree. I agree with that 110%. And so,
well, there is Dr. Erdner, the president of World Archery, coming out for the presentation of the medal to the men. And what a show these men have put on here today. Outstanding archery here in Paris at the World Cup Final. And they have certainly entertained us today. Were you not entertained?
oh, it was great.
I was entertained.
It was a great, like I said, back and forth on a lot of matches today. Had a couple go to shoot-offs, you know, I mean, we look at Martin and Braden, and they went to the last arrow. I mean, we talked, well, he actually got 2 shoot-offs. You know, they had the last arrow they will put in, and then the last, you know, shoot-off they went into. So.
And much credit to the man right there, acknowledging the crowd, Dr. Erdner from Turkey, who has done so much to advance the sport of archery on the world level. And I'm sure he enjoyed what he saw today. Of course, there's much more in store coming up tomorrow. Compound competition is in the books. For the recurve archers waiting in the wings, chomping at the bit and waiting for their chance to get out there on the shooting line and show what they can do.
Oh, yeah. And it's hard to sit back and watch. I mean, I know like at the World Championships, there's a lag time, and so the recurves, they're like watching this start to transpire, and they're like, man, where's my chance? You know, it's like a horse in a gate. Get me out of here. I'm ready to go.
You got to go to the practice field, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. That's what we were discussing. The last World Champs, we had been there. They brought us in early enough to make sure we do well because it looks good for your country and their organizations. And it was funny because Brady Ellison was like, man, I'm really just getting bored. And then I went out and shot a world record. And he says, man, that put more energy back in me. I'm wanting to go. Let's go. And, you know, and just one of them deals. You just got to get the right thing going.
Got to channel that energy.
Yep.
Which is not always an easy thing to do.
No, 100%.
Braden Galantine, the gold medalist last year, silver medalist this year. Of course, Sergio Pagne has been on top of that podium twice in his career, 2009, 2010, Copenhagen, and Edinburgh. But today belongs to the daring Danish archer, the Great Dane. Martin Damsbo was the danger.
Yep.
He was the danger.
And he shot well today. Very well. Like, he deserved it more than any. I mean, he went out and got it.
Fought, scratched, clawed, got it, won the shoot-off. Martin Damsbo. beating Dominique Genet 147 to 143 in the semifinals. Earlier in the day, he had defeated his teammate Patrick Larson from Denmark in the quarterfinals. And then here in the gold medal match, they went wire to wire. Braden Gelantine, Martin Damsbo, and it went to a shoot-off where Damsbo finally won it. And Martin Damsbo is your gold medalist in 2013.
Mesdames et messieurs, un tonnerre d'applaudissements s'il vous plaît pour tous les athlètes.
A great moment in the life of Martin Damsbo, who has worked long and hard and finally has his golden moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain in the venue for our para-archery exhibition match.
The golden form that won him the medal here today, along with the Longines Prize for Precision, or the Longines watch, I should say, that goes to the gold medalist. Longines Prize for Precision went to Braden Gelantine, but it's Martin Damsbo who walks off with a big check.
And a big smile.
And a big smile, yeah. And a big smile. Oh, what a day it's been here today in Paris. Started off early, had some great matches this morning. The women in the quarterfinals, we saw two shoot-offs in the women's quarterfinals this morning. The men's matches were close and tight, hard fought. And we got to this afternoon, and when all was said and done in the women's compound medal matches, it was Albina Loganova taking home the bronze medal, Erica Jones of the United States, silver again, and then Alejandra Usquiano coming up with the biggest win of her career, her brief career. She's only 20 years old, as she won the gold medal for the women. On the men's side, Braden Gelantine gets the silver, Sergio Pagne the bronze, and Martin Damsbo the gold. So night begins to